Okay, gents, what every man should own by 40. Now, by 40, your wardrobe should have grown up with you, okay? Most men's hasn't. They're still pulling from a scaled up version of the drawer they had at 22. And it shows. This is the audit. What a grown man should own by now, what should be long gone, and the gaps that are quietly aging you. Walk into the average 40-year-old's wardrobe and it's a museum of who he used to be. The going out shirts, the branded hoodies, the trainers for every occasion, the one suit that stopped fitting 2 stone ago or 5 or 10 kilos ago. Almost none of it is built for the man he is now, okay? Meanwhile, the men who look genuinely impressive at 40 own less. I'm walking you through exactly what should be in a grown man's wardrobe by 40, piece by piece, the anchors that do the heavy lifting, what to bin, and how to fill the gaps without starting over or spending a fortune, right? By the end, you'll know precisely where you stand and what to fix first. Okay, gents? So look, here's the uncomfortable truth. You need to grow up. Most men over 40 need to hear this. Your wardrobe is still a teenager's wardrobe. It's just in a bigger size. And it's the clearest sign that you stopped paying attention. Somewhere around probably 25, it happens slowly, right? You build a way of dressing in your 20s, it sort of works, okay? And then you just keep going, right? Same shops, same silhouettes, same logos, right? The years pass and the wardrobe never grows up, okay? Even though you did. So you end up a grown man with a grown man's life, still dressed like a slightly tired version of the lad you were 15 years ago. And this is exactly what the industry wants, okay? A man who never updates his style, keeps buying the same disposable rubbish on repeat, chasing trends aimed at people half your age. They have no interest in helping you build a wardrobe that lasts and matures, because a man who's sorted is a man who stopped spending in panic, and keeping you dressing young keeps you dressing broke. By 40, you've earned something. Younger men haven't. The presence, the lived experience, the frame to carry real clothes property. This is the age when style actually starts to get good, when a man can look genuinely commanding instead of just dressed, but only if the wardrobe has grown up to match. So this is the audit. We go piece by piece through what a grown man should own, what he should have binned ages ago, and where the gaps are. Be honest with yourself as we go. So if one piece separates a grown man's wardrobe from a boy's, it's the overcoat, a proper one. And most men over 40 still don't own one, or a single good one at least. For half the year, especially if you're living in cold climates, it's not relevant for me because of where I live, but I've got a great overcoat. But your coat is the most visible thing you wear. It's the first thing every room sees as well, or everyone in the room sees, okay? And it frames everything underneath it. A good overcoat makes a simple outfit look serious, okay? A puffer or a cheap anorak undoes a good one. Yet men spend on everything else and leave the most visible layer to chance, right? Throwing on whatever's warm, keep it simple, right? Black or camel, wool or cashmere. That's it. I want you to skip navy for now. It's actually harder to match than most men think and rarely worth the bother. Now listen, a well-fitted black cashmere overcoat in particular just screams quiet power, okay? It does more for how you're read than almost anything else you can own. Camel is the other one, right? It's warmer, a touch softer. It's brilliant over knitwear, okay? And tailoring alike. This is the piece that I'd tell a man to buy first if he's building from scratch, okay? And it's worth stretching the budget for, because you'll wear it constantly for 10 years and it'll look better the longer you own it. One good coat beats 3 cheap ones that pill and sag by February, okay? If you own nothing else on this list, yet you own this, it's the fastest way to look like a man who has his life together, even on days when you don't. So what's the next piece? So by 40, a man should own proper leather shoes, and he should have grown out of wearing trainers for absolutely everything, all right? not sneakers, okay? Shoes are the first thing people unconsciously read, and they betray everything, okay? Scuffed, cracked, cheap shoes drag down the best outfit in seconds. A grown man shouldn't own a few pairs of, or he should own, sorry, a few pairs of real leather. It could be a loafer, could be derbies or a derby, something that takes him from smart to smart casual without reaching for trainers. And here's where I'll probably lose some of you. Stop defaulting to white trainers. Everyone wears sneakers, okay? That's exactly the point. When every man in the room is in the same box fresh trainers, the man in a clean leather loafer is the one who stands out, the one who looks like he operates on a different level. Leather shoes, even in casual settings, is a quiet signal, and almost nobody over 40 is sending this. You don't need 10 pairs, you need a few excellent ones, looked after, resold when they need it, kept clean, etc. Good leather ages beautifully. It builds character the longer you wear it, which is more than you can say for trainers that look tired in 1 year, okay? This is one of the highest impact upgrades a man can make, and one of the most ignored. You sort your shoes and you will change how every outfit reads from the ground up, to be clear, okay? Now, the next thing, right, every man should own a suit. And you should own a suit that genuinely fits you, not the suit that you bought for a wedding in 2014. The man you are now. Most men over 40, they own a suit, technically. It's in the back of the wardrobe. It fits the body they had years ago. And they pull it out twice a year and they quietly suffer in it, okay? That's not owning a suit, that's owning a costume that no longer matches you. A suit that doesn't fit makes you look worse than no suit at all. It announces that you've stopped paying attention. You need one excellent suit. It could be navy or charcoal that fits you today, not off the rack and left as is, fitted to your actual body by a tailor. The shoulders sitting right, the jacket closing cleanly, the trousers breaking properly. That precision is what reads as authority, okay? A modest suit tailored to you beats an expensive one hanging off of you every single time. And this is where most men have never been taught. The real game, the tailoring, the buying the suit is the easy half, okay? Getting it adjusted to your frame is what separates a man who looks sharp versus a man who looks like he borrowed his dad's jacket. By 40, you should have a tailor or at least know how to talk to one, right? That single relationship does more for how you're seen than another decade of buying off the rack and hoping. Capiche? Right, so the everyday uniform of a grown man is good knitwear. And most men are still buying it in 3-tool pack, in a fabric that's bobbling, which is, that little bunchy thing that happens before spring. A fine gauge knit is one of the most useful things a man can own, okay? It layers underneath your coat, it sits over a shirt, it dresses up or dresses down and quietly does a huge amount of work. But the cheap stuff betrays you fast. It goes bobbly, the shape collapses, the color fades, and suddenly you look scruffy in something that started out fine. Invest in a handful of good knits, right? We're talking merino wool, okay, lamb's wool, cashmere if you can, in your palette, fitted properly, not boxy, not clingy. A few of these in the right colors will carry more of your week than almost anything else you own. This is where quality genuinely shows. Good wool looks and feels expensive across the room. Cheap acrylic, on the other hand, looks exactly like what it is, okay? Think fewer, better, worn more, right? 3 excellent knits you reach for constantly. Beat a drawer of 9 cheap ones. You're embarrassed by after 2 washes, okay? And buy them in tones that work on you, not whatever was on sale or on the sale rack, because the right color against your face does half the work before you've even thought about it. This is the quiet backbone of a grown man's wardrobe, and it's worth getting right. Knitwear. Now, the next piece of a wardrobe that every man over 40 should own by now is, we're talking about the bottom half, the trousers, okay? The bottom half is where a lot of men over 40 give themselves away. They're still wearing trousers designed to make them look young, which does the exact opposite. By 40, the skinny everything should be gone, okay? So should the distressed denim, the cargo nonsense, the trend cuts that date in a season. None of it makes you look younger, okay? It makes you look like a man anxious about his age. And that anxiety reads louder than any pair of jeans. The clothes trying, hardest to say young, are the ones that age you the most, okay? Or hardest to say that you're young are the ones that age you the most. What you want instead is a simple and timeless, well-cut trousers in wool or cotton, a clean straight or slim straight leg, the right length, okay? So they break cleanly at the bottom, never pull around the ankle, and good dark denim, worn in honestly, never artificially ripped or faded. Trousers that fit a grown man's frame and don't shout for attention. This is half of the outfit that men think about the least, okay? And it quietly makes or breaks everything above it, right? Get the cut right for your actual body, get the length sorted by a tailor, keep the colors in your palette, and the bottom half disappears in the best way. It just works. Letting the coat and the shoes and the knit do the talking. Stop dressing the bottom half like you're trying to get into a club in 2008. So before we fill the gaps, we deal with the cull, because half of the reason a man's wardrobe looks wrong at 40 isn't what's missing, it's what he refuses to throw out, okay? Open the wardrobe and be ruthless. The graphic tees with logos and slogans, the branded hoodies doing the talking for you, anything ripped, distressed, or faded on purpose. The going out shirt you've owned since 2009, the novelty socks that your missus bought you, the fast fashion pieces gone bobbly and shapeless. If it belongs to the man you used to be, it's holding you back from being the man that you are, okay? These are the items that you need to remove. Now this is hard because men get attached, and because every one of those pieces is a little anchor to a younger version of yourself, okay? Which I understand. You're not quite ready to let go of, right? But the wardrobe is a statement of who you are now and who you're trying to be as well. And every tired old piece in there is dragging that statement backwards. Clear? You cannot dress like the man you're becoming while you're still hauling around the uniform of the man that you once were. You don't bin it all at once in a panic, but you do start, okay? Pull out everything you haven't worn in a year, or everything that doesn't fit, everything that belongs to a decade that you've left. Be honest. Most men are carrying a wardrobe that's 2/3 dead weight, and clearing it out is genuinely freeing, okay? Suddenly you can see what you actually have and what you actually need. The cull comes before the build, always. So once the cull's done, the next thing that we do is we talk about the palette, right? So here's what separates a wardrobe from a pile of clothes, and it's called the palette, right? By 40, everything you own should work together. And most men's stuff just doesn't. The reason a man stands in front of a full wardrobe and feels like he has nothing to wear is almost always because of this, okay? There's no coherent color palette, right? Now, he's bought random pieces in random colors over years. None of them talk to each other, so nothing combines. Getting dressed is a daily fight. A wardrobe should function like a system where almost anything goes with almost anything else. You build that with a tight, deliberate set of tones: black, white, navy, gray, camel, and depending on your coloring, something with a deep depth, like a deep oxblood, okay? Muted, considered, masculine colors. Masculine colors that combine effortlessly and never date. Get the palette right, and a smaller wardrobe suddenly does far more because every piece multiplies against the others instead of them sitting there being orphaned. But the exact tones have to suit you. And this is where most men go wrong, even when they spend well. The right gray, the right navy, the right depth against your skin and hair makes you look alive and expensive. The wrong ones, however, even in great fabric or good fabric, leave you washed out and they leave you tired. By 40, you should know exactly which colors work on you and buy only within them. Stop guessing in the shop. Know your palette, and every purchase from then on compounds into a wardrobe that just works. Right, so once we've settled the palette, what's the next steps, right? So here's how you actually fix this, okay? And the good news is you don't burn the wardrobe down and start from zero tomorrow. Run the audit honestly. You need to cull what's dead, right? Then look at the anchors, the overcoat, the leather shoes, the suit that fits, the good knits, the right trousers, and see where your real gaps are. Fill them slowly, one good piece at a time, starting with the overcoat. This is the main one, okay? And the shoes, because they change the most for the least amount of effort, okay? Buy once, buy well, buy on your palate. A man who adds 3 excellent pieces a year for a few years ends up with a wardrobe most men couldn't build with 10 times the panic spending. And there are 2 things to get right before you spend, because they decide whether the money lands or gets wasted. The first is the color, right? Now I've got a couple of tools that help with this. The one is the Color Authority tool, tells you exactly which tones actually work on you, okay? So the gaps you fill go straight into the shades that make you look alive and not washed out, right? So no more expensive mistakes in the wrong color. Every dollar or pound goes to where it counts. And the second most important is fit, okay? And it's the one that does the most. My Tailoring Excellence Guide teaches you to get things adjusted to your body and to actually talk to your tailor, right? Because everything on this list, the coat, the suit, the trousers, lives or dies on whether it fits you properly. So get the color right, get the fit right, build slowly from the anchors out, okay? By 40, you've earned the right to look like the man, or look like a man who's arrived. The only thing standing between you and that is a wardrobe that has finally grew up. So go build it, gents. Get some.